Hey, so in this little lesson, we're going to be working with Midi and manipulating audio, and we're going to be sampling. So, what I want to do is go into the synth folder. Let me turn this down. Yeah, that's pretty good. What I want to do is insert a MIDI track, place that down there. It's now in a sampler. It's now armed to receive MIDI. I'm going to turn the volume up. So what I want to do is select this little area, insert MIDI clip, select that. This one's already looped, but I'll loop it again. See, that's more than a bar. So what I'll do is I'll squish that down, and you'll see that we're not using most of it, so we'll just consolidate, and it'll move that down. And what we're going to do is switch this to quarters. Oh wait, not quarters, eighths. So we're not going to do that. We're going to move this around and create something kind of techy. And what we'll do is we'll select that and repeat it, consolidate. Still sounds off. Still sounds off a little bit. Move that back. And we'll really just play around with it. And then we'll shuffle it a bit more. We could move this up a little bit. And we'll do that. Also, I'd like to insert another MIDI clip. This time we'll drop a instrument, a drum rack. And what we'll do is find the root. So we will add some percussion. So we'll go into this, we'll find a percussion bit. We'll find one that we like. I like that one, it's nice and round. Place that there. So what this does is it loads each one of these pads. Think of a APC 40. Each one of these pads, each has its own instance of simpler, and you select it in here. So each one, this one does not have one, but this one does. What we'll do is we'll move the volume up, and I want to do a little something. So what I'll do is I'll arm record. I'm gonna record MIDI, and that playing confused me, but it kind of set up what we wanted to do. And we'll do that. See, this first part, I like it. So consolidate and duplicate. And I turn the metronome on and off, and that way it just works well instead of like having a kick on there. But we're gonna add a kick. We're gonna find one we like. This is a good one. It's a nice little kick. What we're gonna do is we're gonna show fades, smooth it out. Yeah, I don't like that part here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shave this off, like so. And kind of repeat that. That sounds pretty nice. So I think I'm gonna pitch this up. So with the transpose, we're gonna move this up a tiny bit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add some reverb. And there's a reverb. Just to make this sound a bit bigger, we'll solo it. We'll open everything up. I really think that we need to raise the highs, so we'll grab an EQ8, grab 4. That sounds pretty good. We'll see what everything sounds like together. Now, what I want to do is I want to do a quick little trick to get more sub bass. Now you notice that bass had that little wumpy part right in the middle there. We'll play it. I want something like that. Here's a little trick that I picked up. What we're going to do is we're going to create a MIDI channel. We're going to make sure this is selected. We're just going to take this and quickly drag that down there. We're going to set the decay to about here. Oh, pitch it up. Raise the volume. Now I'm gonna adjust the start time to about here. About here. And I'm going to insert MIDI clip. Find that root note that I like. Control B, paste that in. And duplicate that. And now what I'm going to do is add a filter. And then close the filter. And make a nice kind of sub bass. That'll go well with the kick. And you got kind of a groove going on now. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna consolidate all these, and I want to add a bit of a MIDI effect on this. What I want to do, I'll add an arpeggiator. Oh, no, wrong one. I'll cut and I'll put it on this one. I'm going to move the release up. I'm going to turn off the sync just to see what that does. Play around with the sync. Turn the shuffle on, or the swing. There we go, we have something that kind of, that's what I was going for. see what we can do. And the beginning one, it kind of drops all funny. Now I'm gonna go over an effect that will it's called sidechaining. You take a compressor, and what it does is it takes the input from the kick, and whatever channel on it, take the input of the kick, and for the velocity of the kick, or the volume of the kick, that's what it reduces. So the kick would be the first channel. The volume from the kick is going to be routed into this compressor, and this compressor is going to reduce the volume of the synth every time the kick sound reaches a certain threshold. So I'll show you what that sounds like. One thing I want to do is I want to attach an LFO to the filter on the actual sampler. And what I want to do is I want to turn the LFO all the way up, turn the LFO on, select this shape, sync it to 16ths, and let's see what that sounds like. We have it more of a driving sound now. Now what we can do, let's replace that sound. Let's find a bass shot. This one has an LFO, or the bass has an attack on it already, or the filter on the bass has an attack already. Whoops. Let's make that Midi a bit longer on all fronts. We'll turn that to 16ths now. We're gonna have to make that a little bit louder before the compressor squishes it down. So we'll add another compressor. We'll open this filter up a bit. We'll duplicate. We'll copy this, the sidechain compressor, and then paste it here. We'll move the threshold down till we can hear it bite. You can see the gain reduction here. Let's get rid of that key change. I think it kind of takes a bit away. We'll copy and paste that over. We'll consolidate that. And you know what? We'll just duplicate this all. Now we're going to need to bring the threshold down a little bit. Now we have a full-on psytrancey bass line. And what's doing that is the arpeggiator. It's always fun to just play around with the arpeggiator a little bit and see what happens. What really happens, like you just play around with like the up style, and if you're changing steps, change the distance, and it really... Now it alternates between I think it's C and like an octave up, or we can converge it. Oh, but the notes aren't playing for that long. We had the notes playing longer. That's what we'll do. And we can add a bit more excitement, a bit more variation, and you'll make the sound a bit interesting. What I want to do is, because this has so much low end and it's taking away from our bass, I want to kind of just smooth it out just by moving it down. Nothing too complicated yet. What I think we need a clap. And what we'll do is we'll just take any kind of clap. Oop. Clap or snare. And we'll just drop that down there. Duplicate. We'll move it over. We'll move the step down a bit. I want to add a hi-hat. I'll do that quick. We did that before, but we'll do it again, just for fun. We'll have an open one. Something old school. Now what we'll do is we'll add some ping pong delay. And we will grab the compressor from another channel. And then we'll just plop it down here. We'll put reverb on that clap. Now we can find out a way to make this a bit more meaty. I'm thinking with the amp, we'll put it before the EQ, and we'll just turn the wet dry down and dual output it so it's stereo. Really adding some grit. We'll turn the presence down. We'll get rid of all this. Hold on. Oh, everything except the L2. We'll put on some more complicated effects, or more advanced effects than last time. We'll use a band pass. And then after this, we'll have the ping pong delay after the auto filter, but before the flanger. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to shift and select all of these and group them. Okay? And then we're going to, select our macro controls. Now, what we're going to do with this is we're going to map this to macro 1 so it turns on at about 50. We'll do an advanced kind of tutorial on this a little bit later, but we'll have it so this is mapped to the same one, and the wet dry is mapped to the same one. So this thing is controlling, if you can see, it's controlling 3 things at once. So you'll hear what this sounds like. We'll switch the filter type. Better yet, we'll cut the auto filter and we'll put an EQ8. We'll make the same thing, but it'll be a high pass filter. So then we'll map this to this through macro 1. That sounds a bit interesting. And then we can kind of, collapse all the programs, and then we'll have just this, and this macro will control everything. And it's an interesting way to add some tension, and instead of drawing in envelopes for everything like we did in the last video, you can draw them in, you can just connect them all to one macro and just draw it in with one automation line. So you can just what you can do is you can as an example, connect or just make another one and group those two. Connect this to macro 1 and this to the same macro. Collapse. Group these 2 groups into a super group. Map to macro 1. Map to macro 1. And you can just keep on doing this. So this one controller is, this wet dry knob is affecting 5 things at the same time. And you can do this in an infinite amount of times. Let's just do that for fun before we go. And map to macro 1, map to macro 1, and map to macro 1. So, oops, map to macro 1, there you go. And some weird stuff will happen. And there you have it. That's a more advanced kind of MIDI editing and effect rack and some impromptu drum rack and sampling. So I hope you enjoyed it.